Hi everybody. Are you ready to tell the story of your heart today? We're going to expand from our heart space and we're going to open out into our arms, into our fingertips. So I talked in one of the earlier videos about how the energy is crisscrossing and moving up and down like a grid through your body. And one of the ways where you can use the movement in your body to open and really express from your heart space is by using your hands and your arms. So if you imagine a similar movement to what we did with our camel the other day with our body, and it's that elongated 8, and also when we did the figures of 8 with our hips, we were taking our arms side to side, again an elongated 8. So these 8s can be in any direction and all around your body. So if you think of the reach of your arms is creating a space around you, like an energy field. And that can be down, it can be up, sides, diagonal, anywhere. So just taking a moment, breathing into your heart, and anchoring your heart through your womb, through your roots, and into the earth. And we can dance the story of our womb with our hips and with our whole body, and then we can dance the stories of our heart. Now everybody has got all their stories, and maybe they've left them behind, maybe they've been healed, maybe they're still living in them. So wherever you are with these particular stories in your life, you don't even have to know exactly what the story is. It could just be a feeling. It might be a feeling that there's a blockage and you don't know why. It could be an emotion, and that emotion might be acting as a distraction, like you can't be fully present with yourself or fully present in your life. So using this can be a way of helping to open those blockages and open those stories to help them be at peace, and you to be at peace with them, and not controlling your life anymore. And also other people's stories, because most of the time we're living in other people's stories and we think that they're our own, and 90% of it isn't. So for me, I just want to get that shit out of my life. I don't want anybody else's stuff. Enough is to deal with my own things without being confused or clouded or taking responsibility for somebody else. And that includes my kids as well. So, you know, I do protection around my children each day in the same way that I do grounding and protection for myself. But I'm very clear that I'm not processing their stuff through my body and through my energy field. So it's, you know, with parents, friends, with anybody, it's totally fine to make those boundaries and just deal with you, because that's what our journey is in this lifetime. It's to deal with ourselves and take responsibility for us. So give your hands a little rub, and on the backs. And remember that you not only have chakras here in your palms, but you've also got them in your fingers, your thumbs. The backs of your hands are creating energy. I imagine it like lightsabers coming out of my fingers. And also when I'm performing as well, I have this image of this light coming from my heart, down through my arms, down through my fingers. So bringing your hands together and then scrunching them in and out, in and out. And this is good as well if you work a lot on the computer. Okay, and again, imagining that kind of snaky movement. So you're bringing your wrists in and away, in and away. So it's almost like you've got that idea of spines going through your hands, and you're trying to touch or move every part of that spine, every vertebra of energy up and through your hands. And if you keep your fingers quite close together, it just helps the energy to build up. And if they're splayed out like this doing it, you're kind of dripping and losing energy everywhere. So you want to keep them close but not tight, because then it's almost like making a block. So they're just nice and relaxed, like those fish. You know the ones I mean, I can't remember the name, but they've got big tails. They move like this. So just playing with that, and as you feel the movement, looking at the space around your hands. Some of you might see your own energy field, or you might become aware of a presence surrounding your physical body. And remembering that it's only a perception that this physical body is solid. This is what we're taught to think. This is the solid, and this is kind of nothingness. But when you start to change that perception, that maybe you're the, not nothingness, but you're the fluidity moving within a different kind of solid. And it's all just shapes, different vibrations of energy, you know, the same trees or the concrete. It's all slightly different vibrations, which are then giving us this kind of angle of, oh, that looks like this and that looks like that. But actually, what if you flip it round? And what we think of as the space is the solid. And you can change and manipulate that energy, that solidness around you and around all the situations or people which you think are affecting you, changing things in your life. And when you move your arms from your heart space, those stories begin to unravel like spaghetti. They start to come alive and shine light on them, so that you can see really the true stories within the story, and then making it not a story anymore. So just experiment with this, moving your hands around your body, not touching your body, but in the space. It doesn't matter how it looks, it's more about feeling into it and how those stories of your heart are either maybe restricting your movement or opening your movement, and how your hands and your arms are interpreting those stories. They might be very slow movements. You might find that your arms go quite jerky. I often find that if something's coming up like a blockage or a residue, they might go a bit and you might feel that one arm is more fluid or blocked than the other, or they might go shaky as well. So there's no right or wrong with this at all. It just is as it is, and it's going to be different every time as well that you do this. And you could be lying down, standing up. I just chose to sit today. And if you haven't got anything particular in mind, or any story that's coming up for you right now, maybe feel into the colour of it, the feel of it, the shape of it, the age of it, and how does that story work its way through and out of your fingertips. And as always, using our breath to breathe out and through our fingers, to let go. And using our hands to draw positive transmutational energy up and in from the earth. And as that starts to stir around in your heart a little more, maybe you need to pause and tune in to what's coming up for you right now. And this can also be behind your body. It's anywhere that you feel. Use your shoulders. Let everything move. And you can carry on with this and repeat it as many times as you like. I often find I might just be walking down the street, something might come up. Could be a feeling, it could be a memory of something, and I think, ooh, what is this doing here right now? And I'm, doing something else. So I'll walk along kind of incognitively, and I'll move the energy up, and I'll pull it up to wherever in my body it needs to be at that moment, and let go of it into the, into the rain, or into the ground, into the earth, and to release and let go. So the more that you work with this, the more you're going to notice immediately when something's is coming up, and the more quickly you'll be able to shift it as well. And you can just do this for yourself. It's all about taking self-responsibility and self-acknowledgement, so that when we're not blaming others, and we're not looking to others as somebody to make everything better for us. We have all this power and we have this knowledge within our bodies. It's just a case of remembering it and remembering it in a way which works for you. And it's about developing your ways of healing you and of moving yourself forward. And everyone has their perfect way of doing this. So I'm sharing, ideas of what I do, and then that can grow into your way. Okay, so see you tomorrow.